Special Economic Zone, says, meaning of Special Economic Zone, says, a Special Economic Zone, says, is a geographical region that is designed to export goods and provide employment. SEZs are free from laws regarding taxes, quotas, FDI bans, labor laws, and other restrictive laws in order to make the goods manufactured in the SEZ at a globally competitive price. SEZs matters related to export and import are more broad-minded and liberal when compared to rest of the country. SEZs are protected as duty-free areas for the purpose of trade, operations, duty, and tariffs. SEZ units are self-contained and integrated, having their own infrastructure and support services. SEZ includes free trade zones, FTZ, free zones, FZ, industrial parks or industrial estates, i.e., free economic zones, urban enterprise zones. The salient features/provisions of SEZ rules. Different minimum land requirement for different class of SEZs. Every SEZ is divided into a processing area where alone the SEZ units would come up and the non-processing area where the supporting infrastructure is to be created. Simplified procedures for development, operation, and maintenance of the special economic zones and for setting up units and conducting business in SEZs. Single window clearance for setting up of an SEZ. Single window clearance for setting up a unit in a special economic zones. Single window clearance for matters relating to central as well as state governments. Simplified compliance procedures and documentation with an emphasis on self-certification. It is a geographically delineated area, usually physically secured. It has a single management or administration. It offers benefits for investors physically within the zone. It has a separate customs area, duty-free benefits, and streamlined objectives of setting up SEZ. Generation of additional economic activity. Promotion of exports of goods and services. Promotion of investment from domestic and foreign sources. Employment generation. Development of infrastructure facilities. Simplified procedures for development, operation, and maintenance of the special economic zones. Single window clearance for setting up of a SEZ and an unit in SEZ. Single window clearance on matters relating to central as well as state governments. Promotion of investment from domestic and foreign sources. Objective of setting up SEZ in Nepal. Sustainable and planned industrial development. Creating an investor-friendly trade and investment environment, focusing to attract investment and modern technology to provide internationally competitive environment. To encourage FDI to increase share in global exports. Generate employment opportunities. Boost infrastructure development. Growth in the manufacturing sector. Generating local employment opportunities. Promoting local value addition and export, thereby contribute to reduce the overall national trade deficit. Areas identified by GAN for establishing SEZs. 1. Barahawa SEZ, in operation. 2. Simara SEZ, partially in operation. 3. Panchkul SEZ. 4. Viratnagar SEZ. 5. Kapilvastu SEZ. 6. Jumla SEZ. 7. Dainjadi SEZ. 8. Nuwakot SEZ. 9. Nepalgunj SEZ. 10. Yahapa SEZ. 11. Danisha SEZ. 12. Radha SEZ. 13. Saraha SEZ. 14. Gorkha SEZ. Challenges of SEZ in Nepal. A lack of policy clarity to declare as SEZ. B. Industrial district/park vs SEZ. Contradiction and overlapping of the policies and institutions among the government. D. Lack of one-stop service center to deal with investment-related cross-cutting issues. E. Private sectors are not transparent. F. Lack of adequate research and development on comparative advantages and competitiveness prospects of SEZ in Nepal. A. Policies, institutional and procedure reforms. B. Increasing access to market and trade connectivity. C. Few competitions among the investors and vibrant market. D. Young and energetic human resources. E. Infrastructure development. F. Double taxation avoidance agreement, DTAA, and bilateral investment promotion and protection agreement, BIPA. H. Incentives and facilities to FDI and export-oriented industry. I. Easy access to visa. J. Creating conducive environment within the country. Suggestions to enhance the role of SEZ in economic development of Nepal. We need to operate SEZ in full capacity. Other feasibility studies should be reviewed based on the comparative advantages before to start the construction. Provision of SEZ Act should be implemented effectively. One-stop service to the investors should be provided effectively inside the zone. Overlapping and the contradictory provisions on different law should be reviewed. SEZ Act should be considered as an umbrella act with all provisions regarding SEZ. There should be only one institution to deal with the investment inside the zone. Enhance the capacity of SEZ with all resources including capable human resources. SEZ should come in operation soon. Remaining infrastructure development in other SEZ should be expedited. Networking and subcontracting with industrial estate/park should be explored and enhanced. The mandatory provision of 60% export of production seems to be revised after the consultation with private sectors.